Well, my restoration of this 5150 is nearly complete. Unfortunately, on boot, however, there was an error, 1701 I/O controller error, and I know what it is. It's this hard card. I received this hard card as part of, I'll put it this way, as part of the, when I purchased this machine. It's basically a hard drive, an integrated controller, which goes into the ISA bus. There's the bus connector. So this was in the machine. When it booted, I got this 1701 error. I also heard a mechanical noise. This is a good indication that the problem is actually there's a rubber bumper in here which helps with the head positioning, and after 40 years that material has deteriorated and as such needs to be repaired or replaced. I'm going to be doing this in not a clean room, and as you're going to see, I'm going to be opening this up here in the shop, which is a bit tricky and probably ill-advised, but we'll see what we can do. Wish me luck. So first things first, we can get rid of this little tab. There we go. All right. That exposes the connectors, which run through the sealed unit, if you will. And now I need to remove this plastic piece, this black plastic piece, to expose the screws, so I can remove the lid. And to do that, probably the best point of entry is where we have a little bit of an opening. Oh boy. This is adhesed on. Oh, there we go. Okay, and I like to use my trusty guitar picks anytime I get, oh yeah, that's good. That's good, that's good. Or sometimes I'll use hotel keys to when I'm prying things open. You know, the plastic's a good thickness, but also not going to damage the surface. And let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to prefer to use my, yeah, and I can feel the adhesive coming off. So already some progress. All right. Whew. Now I need to remove these screws to lift up the unit. These look like regular Phillips, so I don't need the Torx. And let me just make sure this, no, okay, here we go. Part which is often bad is this rubber bumper. Let's see here if this can move freely. Okay. I need to remove these screws. Okay. Now, as you can see, this is a rubber bumper. Problem is, the bumper itself, you can see, is corroded. It's all kind of come apart. So what I want to do, take a look to see if there's any foreign material. I don't see any foreign material. But I want to recreate this bumper, and a good way to do that, as a matter of fact, is just to use some heat shrink tubing. Boy, that's trickier to say than I expected. And so I want to kind of gauge how thick this should be. Of course, it's come apart, so I'm going to pinch it in so it's what I presume to be the original thickness. Oh, and it's a magnet, so this is going to be tricky too. Oh boy, maybe I'll go from this way. And let's just see here. All right. My digital part's not working, but I can read that it is 6, 7, 8 millimeters. Maybe, yeah, 8 millimeters. Roughly, yeah, right around 8 millimeters. So I'm going to see whether or not I can recreate this bumper such that it is 8 millimeters in size. Okay, so a couple of things. Kind of jerry-rigged a little bit of protection for the drive. I did blow some air across from a duster, but not directly on it. Looks like the particulate that was on there has moved, and this is kind of a poor man's clean room, if you will. Now, I put some heat shrink tubing on this armature here. You can probably hear my heat gun in the background. I'm just going to heat up the tubing to let it shrink a little bit. But this was a tight fit, this black tubing that I happen to have. So I'm going to continue with these little yellow pieces. So I said 8. We are at, pretty close. That's probably 7 and change. I wonder. And I don't know if I want to heat shrink this because kind of just like rubber, it having a little bit of give to it might be desirable. Okay, and I think the height's right. Well, let's give it a whirl. Scotch tape over that. There you go, factory. And I'm just going to place this gently on here for now. Let's see if I can do that without having to adhese it any more than it's just kind of residual. And the reason is I want to, for the same reason, I want to make sure there's no shorting when it's in the machine. However, in case I have to get back in here, I don't want to seal this up quite yet. All right, time to put this in the 5150 and see if we can start reading off of this. Okay, well, she's booting, we hope. In the meantime, a couple quick notes, because this will take a moment. When I mentioned a duster, specifically referring to compressed air, I used that to blow across the platter. There was some debris, unfortunately, that got on there from the bumper. When I removed the bumper, some debris fell, and then I followed up with a old iPhone case and some saran wrap just to protect that platter. Honestly, I probably should have done that from the beginning, and kind of lesson learned for me on that. The other thing is I used non-magnetic tools just as a precaution. Probably a good idea. And then finally, on the board itself, I did check the capacitors for leaks or cracks or anything of that nature. Oh, I hear some noises. How are we looking? We see the drive light. Yes. Yes. Success. The drive, C drive's booting. We can see it loading various utilities, etc. And we should get some type of command prompt here shortly. So I'm going to call this a success. Thanks for joining me on this journey. And let's just let this finish up here. And there we go. Okay, great. Thanks again, and see you next time.